and it just lit on fire, bubbled up all the paint. All right, I got all the plastic unwrapped, and man, this turned out amazing. The transformation's incredible. Check this out. What up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I am back with another build video on our 1981 Jeep CJ5. Last video, we got the rear axle thrown in, and all the back brakes and the flares turned out really, really well. And thankfully, I don't have any leaks or anything, so we're really looking good there. In this video, we have a bunch of miscellaneous things we're gonna be tackling. We gotta get the rear parking brakes hooked up. Then I actually was missing a couple of springs for the drum brake. They actually hold the parking brake lever back, so we need to make sure to get those springs installed where they should be. I wanna go ahead and clean up the pedals, get those painted, get those looking good for the interior of the Jeep, and then I'm gonna go ahead and replace the U-bolts that I put on the Jeep in the last episode. I actually had some commenters saying that they stretch out when you torque them down, so you really shouldn't reuse those, and I was actually having issues with the nuts and the bolts slipping, so I went ahead and bought some brand new U-bolts. They weren't very expensive, and it'll be good to know those are secure, torqued down, and ready to rock. And then finally, we're hopefully gonna wrap this video painting the whole firewall. It's really gnarly and dirty, and I was hoping to not have to paint it right now, but you know what? Let's go ahead and knock that out, and I'm sure we'll pick up some side projects along the way. That seems to be how this goes. Projects turn into more projects, but it'll be good. First things first, let's get this Jeep kind of rearranged back in the garage so I can actually get around it. Let's jump right in. Task number one here. You see the spring right in here. We need to change this out. This one's kind of junky. And then there's nothing on the other side. So I'm gonna try to pump the brakes up really far and see if this shoe can just kind of pull back quite a bit. I think I'm gonna unlink this down here just so there's less tension and the whole shoe can kind of shift. And we'll see if we can sneak on the spring right here. Don't you just love when a plan comes together? I was able to sneak that little spring onto here without having to pull everything off. So we got that task done, A++. I mentioned earlier, but spinning this allows you to adjust the drum brake shoes out and in, basically set the point at which they barely touch. That way when you hit the brake, it does slow you down. My dad gave me the pro tip to go ahead and adjust this out just far enough that we can get this little cylinder thing here on and tight. That way when you're running in the back here, you're not adjusting it for hours and hours because it is kind of a tight space to adjust it once everything's on. So we're gonna go ahead and adjust this guy to where this barely fits over, and then we should be good to go and we can fine tune the brake adjustment from the back. So it's just getting my spacer mocked up here, and everything I read online said I had to find longer wheel studs that go in the back. That way these nuts and bolts are all the way on, but I ended up running a nut up on this bolt here, and this is just a stock stud right here, and it's completely going over the whole thing. So I don't know what the deal is, but it looks like my stock studs will work. So I'm gonna get that one stud replaced that we pulled off in the last video, and then we're gonna mock up our wheel spacers and check out how awesome they turn out. we just got our wheel stud on here, took care of that. I ended up tightening it down really, really hard and it pulled through, which is awesome. Once that was done, I kind of ballparked our tightness around the drum right here. So we should be able to make some subtle changes in the back and get that tightened down perfectly. And then finally, we got our wheel spacer here looking so nice. I think it's gonna add a sick look from the back since the tires are gonna be so much wider. So I'm really excited to see how that looks once it's all done. So let's go ahead and get these torques down, get the wheel on here, and then we'll go ahead and knock out the other side. We got this puppy put back together here, all nice and shiny hardware. I got some new lug nuts. And then in a future video, we're actually gonna repaint, primer, clear coat the entire rim. So make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. We'll be restoring this rim and get it looking just like new, but for right now, this is looking legit. And then looking at the back profile here, definitely hangs way more out. I really like that look. Looking at this side, seeing that's kind of aligned there. And then look at that, man, that thing is hanging off. That looks sick. Let's go ahead and knock out the other side. Like I mentioned earlier, this spring isn't even existent here, so we need to make sure we get a spring on there. And then I went ahead and ran the parking cable, but it's actually not connected up underneath in here. So I'm gonna get some needle nose, try to get it on this little parking brake lever, and then we'll go ahead and get our spring over here, and then we should be good to go. Got this side all wrapped up, parking brakes in, springs in. We are looking really good here. I got the spacer all torqued down. And then I probably should have done this on the other side first, but as I mentioned earlier, we need to change out these U-bolts, and I would rather change these out with the tire off. That way I have easy access. So let's go ahead and zip these puppies off and put on the new ones. So many piles of stuff everywhere. What's up here? Ooh, beautiful. Look at that, brand new. New U-bolts, all new hardware, all torqued down perfectly. It feels so good to have all this wrapped up. So let's get the wheel put on this side just to wrap everything up, and then we'll do the U-bolts on the other side. Then we'll move on to our other tasks. Got the tire all buttoned up. If you're enjoying this video, hit that like button, subscribe, it means a lot, and keep watching. Man, having those spacers in there stanced this thing out so much. It looks so much more aggressive. I'm excited to get these fender flares installed and get this thing painted up. That really should add to the stability of the Jeep. If you want to get your hands on some spacers, I'll link them down in the description. I'm trying to be better about linking through some of the unique stuff I use in my build in the description to make it all easier for you guys to check out. So let's quickly pull the tire off, get the U-bolt swapped out, and then we'll move on to bigger and better things. But I do have a question for all of you at home. Are these rims stock for my CJ5? Again, it's a 1981. I'm not sure if they're stock or not, but I would be curious to see if they came from the factory like this. Spacers are on. We do need to run some of our parking brakes up through these holes and get them all secured. So let's go ahead, clean up some of these cables, kind of secure them up where they need to be. Then we'll go ahead and restore our pedals. Man, I feel like I'm kicking butt today. Got so much done already, but now we're gonna move on to the pedals. So we've got a rusty old gas pedal right here. Everything functions well. It just needs to be painted up and cleaned up, really kind of gross and rusty looking. And then the clutch and the brake pedal are not much better. If you look right here, they could just use a good clean, good scrub, and then a paint. They have these really weird like pedal covers here, so I might pull these off to paint it, and then I don't know what it looks like to get new pedals, but I'll go ahead and get new kind of pedal tops there. And then let's clean up the parking brake as well. So much of the inside of the Jeep is painted already that'll really kind of bring the whole look all together. All the pedals are painted. I got these kind of painted up here. This one's drying down there. But now let's take a look at the Firewall. The Firewall is definitely in need of some TLC. Definitely really dirty, kind of peeled paint. Not the best looking. So the goal is gonna be to clean up this as much as we can. So we gotta pull the battery off, maybe pull off some of the other stuff. I was also thinking we need to jack up the engine just so it's not sitting so tight against the Firewall. I think we can pitch it forward and we'll be better off. So let's get to cleaning up the engine bay and see what we can do to open it up to start sanding and cleaning. All right, everything's looking good. We got the whole Firewall as opened up as we're gonna get it. I'll probably tape off some of the stuff that I don't wanna get paint on. Other than that, I think we're good to start scrubbing and start sanding. And then we'll probably have to do a lot of scrubbing to get some of the grease and whatnot off this back wall. But otherwise, I think we're good to go. Let's get after this. After hours of scraping, sanding, and cleaning later, I finally got this Firewall right where I want it. You can see right here, it looks so good, so clean, ready for some paint, all sanded up and down here. I have been blown away just at how little rust there is. There's a little bit of surface rust, but no rot, no holes, no nothing, which is super exciting. I did not want another project to patch in some of the Firewall. I ended up sanding and cleaning up the master cylinder here. I'm gonna spray it with some paint, but I don't know if you can see it over here. All this paint was missing and it was all bubbled up, and I was kind of curious why. And then it occurred to me, this fuse block is super melted right here. I bet there was a fire over here and it just lit on fire, bubbled up all the paint, and they got it out obviously, but kind of crazy. All right, I got all the plastic unwrapped, and man, this turned out amazing. The transformation's incredible. Check this out. I could not have asked for it to come out any better. This thing turned out so good, so clean, and because this paint isn't a gloss, it doesn't show near the perfections a gloss paint would. So I'm really, really happy with the result. It's looking newer and newer every single day. Thank you all for coming along for the ride. In the next video, we're actually gonna be unpacking our giant wiring harness, so I'm super excited to see what's all done with that. I've never wired a car before. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It means a lot. Until next time, have a good week, and we'll see you in the next one.